Meet Vinicius Jr., the kid from Brazil who had the world at his feet, literally. Once hailed as football's future, he's now just as famous for shoving goalkeepers and squaring up to referees as he is for scoring goals. How did this star striker with lightning-fast feet and undeniable talent go from hero to one of Europe's most controversial stars? From stunning runs to heated fights, Vinicius dribbled from hero to villain faster than his opponents could keep up with him. He's left fans asking, is he football's next legend or its ultimate troublemaker? Buckle up, this is one wild story of how Brazil's golden boy became Europe's most polarizing player. Let's dive in. Picture this. A dusty street in São Gonçalo, Brazil. A bunch of kids kicking around what barely qualifies as a football. And then there's this kid, little Vinicius Jr., weaving through everyone like he's Ronaldinho's secret protege. Spoiler alert, he wasn't, but you'd never guess that from the way he played. From the moment Vinicius touched a football, it was clear this kid wasn't just playing, he was auditioning for greatness. Nutmegs? Easy. Dribbles? Child's play. Making older kids quit the game out of embarrassment? Now that was his speciality. By age 10, Flamengo, one of Brazil's top clubs, took notice and said, "We'll take him." And boy, did they make the right call. At Flamengo, Vinicius was unstoppable. Coaches marveled at his pace, his creativity, and his sheer audacity. While most teenagers were worried about acne, Vinicius was busy embarrassing defenders twice his size. Then, at just 16, Real Madrid came knocking with a $45 million offer. To put that into perspective, that's the most expensive teenager in football history. Meanwhile, I spent my teenage years saving up for concert tickets. But moving to Madrid wasn't just a dream come true, it was a baptism by fire. Expectations were sky high, and failure simply wasn't an option. The world was watching, and Vinicius, he was ready to shine, or so he thought. Imagine this, you're 18, walking into Real Madrid's locker room, and bam, you see Sergio Ramos, Luka Modric, Karim Benzema. These aren't just teammates, they're football gods. Talk about pressure. And Vinicius, he didn't exactly hit the ground running. Sure, he could dribble past defenders like a magician, but finishing, let's just say the goalposts were his biggest fans. They couldn't stop hugging his shots. Flashy but wasteful, they said. All style, no substance, they cried. But Vinicius wasn't here to prove them right. Oh no, he doubled down, trained obsessively, and started turning doubters into believers. By 2019, he was an entirely different player. Faster, sharper, deadlier. Watching him play was like watching a firecracker on the pitch. Unpredictable, explosive, and impossible to ignore. But here's the thing, Vinicius didn't just play football, he performed football. Dances, taunts, celebrations, it was all part of the show. And while fans loved it, opponents, not so much. Defenders started targeting him. Fouls, tackles, trash talk, you name it. And let's be honest, Vinicius wasn't exactly turning the other cheek. His fiery temper only made things worse. By 2021, Vinicius wasn't just a player, he was a walking highlight reel. But with every highlight came controversy, and the bigger his star grew, the bigger the target on his back. With great talent comes great drama. And for Vinicius, drama wasn't just a side effect, it was practically a second career. It started small, a shove here, a heated argument there. At first, people thought, oh, he's just passionate. But soon, it became pretty clear. This guy was collecting fights like they were Pokemon cards. And it wasn't just on the pitch either. Rumors about his off-field life, they started making the headlines too. Reports of his fiery personality, arguments with teammates. It was like a telenovela, and Vinicius was the star. On the pitch, it got even worse. Opponents knew exactly how to push his buttons, foul him, trash talk him, and watch the fireworks at play. Vinicius, well, he played right into their hands, letting his temper take over. And then there was the incident. A shove to the goalkeeper, an attempted strike on the referee. This wasn't just crossing the line, this was pole vaulting over it. In that moment, Vinicius went from being a hero to one of the most controversial players in Europe. And while his skill was undeniable, his name was now forever tainted. The question is, was it all worth it? Every player has a moment that defines their career, for better or for worse. For Vinicius Jr., that moment came in a match that left the football world stunned. It all started with a missed opportunity, a rare mistake for someone like Vinicius. Frustration boiled over as he turned his attention to the goalkeeper, who probably thought, I'm just doing my job, man. But instead of moving on, Vinicius shoved the goalkeeper like he was auditioning for a wrestling match. The referee rushed in, trying to calm things down, but Vinicius, he was just warming up. What happened next shocked even his biggest fans. Vinicius turned his fury on the referee, almost striking him after being given a red card for his actions, thanks to the teammates that dragged him away. It wasn't just bad sportsmanship, it was a full-blown meltdown. The ref probably thought, man, I don't get paid enough for this. The stadium erupted, fans booed, players argued, and social media lit up like fireworks on New Year's Eve. Vinicius wasn't just making headlines, he was making enemies. The backlash was immediate and brutal. Critics called him reckless, opponents mocked him, and even some fans started questioning their loyalty. Vinicius had officially become football's most polarizing figure. One fan tweeted, "For no reason, I hate Vinicius for several reasons." Another said, "Vinicius Jr. is the best playmaker in football today." The internet was divided, but one thing was clear, nobody could ignore him. Pundits weren't any kinder either. Some blamed his immaturity, others pointed fingers at his fiery personality. They even referred to him as a ticking time bomb, whom you never know when he'll explode. Harsh, but kind of accurate. For Vinicius, the fallout wasn't just public, it was personal too. The weight of the criticism, combined with his own regret, was written all over his face. The question now was no longer about his talent, it was about his future. But here's the thing, while some turned against him, others doubled down on their support. To his loyal fans, Vinicius was still a hero, flawed but human. For all his faults, Vinicius Jr. is nothing if not resilient. Behind all the controversies and the fiery temper is a player who simply refuses to give up. And in football, redemption is always just one goal away. Despite the chaos, one thing remains true. Vinicius Jr. is an incredible talent. His pace, skill, and his creativity make him one of the most electrifying players in the game. But can he rise above all the noise and prove he's more than just his mistakes? Even his teammates believe in him. They see his fire not as a weakness, but as the drive that makes him great. And let's face it, football without a little drama, it wouldn't be nearly as fun. To his fans, Vinicius isn't just a player, he's a symbol of hope, resilience, and the passion that defines Brazilian football. They know he's far from perfect, but isn't that what makes him relatable? So, what's next for Vinicius Jr.? Will he learn from his mistakes and rise to even greater heights? Or will his temper continue to overshadow his brilliance? One thing's for sure, this is a story we'll all be watching unfold. If you enjoyed this roller coaster of a story, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more epic football tales. Because in this game, there's always another twist waiting just around the corner. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.